Welcome to Mercy Kill, episode 4, or shall we say, Mercy Krill. I know, get used to the puns. That's how we're doing Mercy Kill this week on episode 4. That is because it is still currently Ocean Week, and I'm here with our wonderful folks from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We're also here with the wonderful Author Blues, who runs such a wide variety of games. There were also some Ocean Week involved games in there, so thanks to Auth for being a good sport and playing both Higemaru, Makaijima, and E.V.O Search for Eden. We'll get to that in a little while, though. First, though, some GDQ stuff. Remember, Mercy Kill is brought to you by viewers like you. If you'd like to support the stream, as well as the other programs on GDQ Hotfix, please consider subbing to the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, remember you have a Twitch Prime sub. Please consider using that if you have not already to sub to the channel. Remember, on Thursday, we will have the first step at 7 p.m. where we will see if Hobbs can finish Link's Awakening this week with the 2019 remake. Let's see if any of his LADX gameplay transfers over. SGDQ 2020 online prize submissions are now open. If you're interested in submitting a prize, go to gamesdonequick.com for more information. And with that, how are you all doing, especially y'all from the Monterey Bay Aquarium? Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hey, yeah, it's good to be back. Hi, everybody. Hey, Author Blues. Hey, Sky. Hey, everybody. Hey, Richard. Thanks for running everything. This is great. Emily, you want to go first, or I hopped in real hot there. I was very excited.
Definitely. Hello, everyone. Hello again. For those of you who have been hanging out with us all week, Day 3 of Ocean Week is here. My name is Emily. I am one half of the Monterey Bay Aquarium's social media team. The other half being Patrick. Hello, Patrick.
Hi, that's me. Hey, thank you so much, Emily. Yeah, I'm the worst, more terrible half of the social media team. There's me as my ocean sunfish. That's awesome. And yeah, we are here with GDQ for this Ocean Week. It's been so much fun. Yesterday we had some Echo the Dolphin gameplay, some Abzu. We're so excited for today's Mercy Krill, the triple pun over there. And we know that Author Blues here has a no puns emote, and we happen to have a puns emote. And so just wanted to plug at the beginning here, go ahead and subscribe to Author Blues channel. Go and subscribe to our channel. We're twitch.tv/MontereyAQ. And that way you can get the puns emote and the no puns emote. And we're going to have a pun emote battle. No puns versus puns in the chat there. It's going to be mostly subjective as to who wins there. But yesterday we had 270 ocean puns. We had a lot of ocean information. So yeah, really excited to watch the speed run and share some love of the ocean with all of you folks. That's what the aquarium's all about, is inspiring conservation of the ocean. So very excited to be here with all of you. We have a very special guest from our sister institution, or our colleague over at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, which is famous for its deep sea research, but also does a whole lot of oceanographic work. And today joining us is an ROV pilot, a remotely operated vehicle pilot. So Ben, good to see you back here again.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, well, thanks for having me. So much fun.
So Ben was here with us when we ran through some Subnautica on the first day of Ocean Week. And so Ben is an awesome resource for all things tech and piloting an ROV in the deep sea. So if you have any questions about what that's like, let us know. He spends a lot of time on ships as well. So you can let us know if you've ever run into pirates or anything during the speed run. Cool. And that's us. Yeah, pretty much it, Sky.
So where can they find you, just so they know, again, on YouTube and on Twitch?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's come on,
Emily,
Pat.
way better.
Come on. You let your hype man duties slide there. So over on Twitch, you can find us at twitch.tv/MontereyAQ. And then on YouTube, youtube.com, we're Monterey Bay Aquarium over there. We're also, for the most part, Monterey Bay Aquarium on most social media channels, with the exception of, let's see here, Twitter and TikTok. We are Monterey AQ on those ones as well. So you can find us hanging out over there. We do live streams of our animal webcams every day on our channels. We also do dives into the deep sea and deep sea topics with our colleagues over at Mbari. We talk to our friends from around the aquarium go behind the scenes, do live streams there. And then Pat and I also live stream Animal Crossing for right now. Hopefully more video games in the future. But if you want to see someone play video games very slowly, you can head on over to twitch.tv/MontereyAQ and
if you have an
out.
ocean-themed video game that you never want to see completed, I don't know if there are records for slowest runs and that the game is never finished. That's certainly what we've been up to with Animal Crossing, just talking about the amazing marine life, and we've had special guests on there as well talking about fossils and bugs, etc. So very excited for that. We'll be streaming some Abzu at some point here with the ocean, but for right now, we are some backseat gamers here to just commentate over some amazing professionals here. So it's I should say professionals at this stuff. So it's very fun to see that. And I heard a chuckle from Author Blues, I think. So I don't know about that no puns emote, man. You might be.
It's a pain chuckle.
It's a pain to chuckle. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Surely we'll win you over by then.
Surely, yeah. Already making waves in the chat, so yeah.
I'm dying right now.
Well, thank you very much to y'all for being here. I very much appreciate it. Looking forward to this. So this week on Mercy Kill, we will be talking about, well, first of all, the puns, but y'all already knew about that. Second of all, we will be finding out some facts information about the ocean and the environment and the wildlife that inhibits that environment. So we're going to be doing that as well. You're going to get some education out of this week. However, before we get to any of this, let us educate ourselves about these games that Author Blues, who so generously agreed to run because it fit into the Ocean Week theme games. And this first game, Makaijima, is no exception to being very difficult. So first of all, be sure to give Auth a follow, twitch.tv/AuthorBlues. Auth, how are you feeling right now? What's up?
Nervous. I'm extremely nervous. I know it's Mercy Kill, so if I fail, I'll just be fulfilling the prophecy. But I think...
The prophecy, of course. S-E-A, yes. The prophecy, yeah. No, continue. I was doing good.
Yeah, my speedrun.com profile is big enough that they sort of perused it like it was a grocery store shelf and pick the games that had a ocean bent. And the best, I think the ideal thing about my ocean-themed repertoire is that they're all the hardest games that I've ever played and not at all suitable for a marathon setting. So really, I think the goal here is to finally have a loss on Mercy Kill. I think too many people have been succeeding by giving generous estimates. And I've come up with some creative ways that I can potentially fail the Mercy Kill.
And yes, let's get right into that in terms of Makaijima specifically. So one of the toughest tricks this game Makaijima is known for is its relentless screen scrolling. And if you think you've seen screen scrolling by watching Zelda 1 speedruns, I'll tell y'all something. This definitely has another element into it. How do you plan on implementing this screen scroll into the run? And was there ever an option for you to not do so? Or did you not know the parts of the game you were going to be skipping? So it was kind of you did those screen scrolls or bust. Talk to me about your process there.
Well, I mean, the screen scrolling allows you to travel across screens without actually having to walk them. It's much faster, but on top of that, it also allows you to skip obstacles. So this is first and foremost a puzzle game. It's an adventure game where you have to solve some puzzles and you go back to previous islands to find clues and you go do tricky things at one location to open a door at another location. And so the screen scrolling is really just skip any locked door, skip any obstacle, skip any hurdle, go straight to bosses. Don't do any of the things you have to do. So, I mean, even if I wanted to make this game a little safer and say I'm just not going to screen scroll, well, we've already doubled or tripled the length of the game just by having to play it.
And let's address some of the statistics we have here so far. So we see your last run was in 23/24, April 2018. However, I do want to remind everyone, as someone who's kind of kept up with the type of speedrun lore of this game, correct me if I'm wrong, you only returned to it for a couple of days in 2018, if I remember properly.
Yeah, I had lost the world record, so I came back for 2 or 3 days to improve it and then put it down again. I think the last time I played it in earnest was 2016.
I was going to say, it's been much longer than what the 2018 suggests. So Oth has this thing. He runs hundreds of games. He'll pick something up for a couple of days just to get the world record back, and then he'll just go back to whatever he was doing. So you have to understand, after one too many runs of Bubsy 3D, the knowledge of this game kind of slipped a little bit. Who's wouldn't?
I think after you play Bubsy 3D, the knowledge of everything slips away.
So I'm imagining that you have somewhere in your house just like a wall of all of the different world records that you have, and then you wake up every morning and see which one is turned red, and you're just like, a new challenge. And
yeah.
Go back. Is that pretty much?
I mean, that's pretty much the way it is. Speedrun.com will email you if someone beats your world record, and it's like, well, I guess I gotta go back.
That's got to be rough. You wake up, you're just like, man, I really need some coffee. Check your phone. Dang it. Now I know what I'm doing today.
Long day. Back to the salt mines.
One last question, speaking of the salt mines. What inspired you to run this game in the first place? And would you consider it a mistake to learn? Sell someone or not sell someone on this game?
Well, it was absolutely a mistake to learn in that I'm having to play it in 2020 for a marathon. But if you're willing to disregard that, no, this is actually, I think, one of the coolest speed games I've run. It's honestly one of my favorite. It's just incredibly challenging. This is a grinder's game. This is not like a marathon safe game at all. The thing about the screen scrolling is that you're just sort of traveling through this like glitched landscape on the screen, and you decide when to stop the screen from scrolling, and you absolutely can end up like in a wall at any point. And if you end up in a wall, that's it. The game is that is the whole game. It is done there.
So what are we doing to take some precautions? Again, we did literally take Oth's speedrun.com thing and used it like a grocery store for this Ocean Week. We won't lie about that. That was actually done here. So we did have some minor compromises since Oth was a good sport. These weren't the games he would have picked for Mercy Kill. So Oth, what is the compromise in a way for this game to kind of make up for that? And the fact that this game is very difficult.
Well, I did go back and watch both of my personal best runs just to kind of reacquaint myself with both games. But for this one in particular, just because it can end so abruptly, really at any point, I do think that I'm going to use the feature on my flashcard to drop a save state at the beginning of islands. And I'm not going to abuse that except for if I just happen to like end up in a wall. I'll just restart the island. If ultimately I could do this the slower way and write down a password for every single island, but that would take a few minutes to write down a 30-character password every single time I wanted to save. So this is really just streamlining the process a bit.
Yes. So again, for those of you who are new here, Mercy Kill is a GDQ show. We're in its 4th installment now, and it is a show about the runner put against the timer. So you're rooting for the timer or you're rooting for the runner. In this case tonight, you can root for puns and no puns too. So that certainly is for play here, especially in episode 4 in Ocean Week. Let's not forget about that. So Oth, are you ready to go?
No, but that's not really going to stop us. Is it?
I mean, it was good to check in, you know.
Yeah, I mean, just to get a feel for it, see the general temperature.
No, absolutely not. No, but I guess we'll do it.
Yeah, and again, one last note here before Oz starts. I normally ask about safety strats. I'm pretty sure there's not a ton of those in this game. In E.V.O, yes, not so much in this game.
For our next game, there's definitely safety strats. For this one, there is not a safe version of this game.
Well, let's hope that Oth makes a very timely appearance here and can beat the clock here. All right, Oth, you count down from 3, and we will start the timer when you do this. Are you ready?
Yeah, why not?
All right, go for it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Adventure World, folks. By the way, the music in here is really good, so I'm going to kind of let it play out for a second here. Just very, very, very glorious music here.
Yeah, so I've got maps pulled up that I had made myself a long time ago when I was learning this game. So at least those will keep me from having to hunt around the ocean for hours. But the idea here is that you have to go find the pirate ships because they have the keys to unlock the entrance to each island. So we got to find the key, go to the island, and basically repeat that process over and over. And the only really interesting thing the only really important thing to understand here is that for these tricks right here, for each of these ships, you're supposed to kill a certain number of pirates before the door to this boss opens. So really, this is a huge time-saving measure to just go directly to the pirate captain. Otherwise, we're just like wandering around for 5 minutes trying to find pirates to kill. Oh, he gave me the business fast.
Oh no! So
if it helps, the scroll went well. Oh, God, Pat.
Oh, I was just going to ask Ben, how similar to life at sea is this so far there? Have you ever had someone hunt you down and throw a crate at you while you were piloting an ROV, or?
Not while piloting an ROV, but
in other instances.
I got worried there, Ben. You left room for.
Well, sometimes the cook gets mad at you and will throw something at you. So
Okay.
We've had some issues with that.
This one, just as someone who spends a lot of time out there on the big blue ocean, it's good to just see how realistic we're looking at so far.
Yeah, but most boats go this fast, though.
Yeah, how fast does the Western Flyer go there, Ben?
I think we max out at 12 knots, which isn't very fast at all. So just like it's around like 10 miles per hour. Pretty slow.
There you go. And the Western Flyer is the twin hold ship that MBARI, the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, has named after the Western Flyer that Ed Ricketts and John Steinbeck were on in their log from the Sea of Cortez. And you pilot the Doc Ricketts, which is named after the John Steinbeck character from Cannery Row, that ROV, right?
Right. Yep.
That's awesome. And so is there...
Oh,
go for it. I was just going to ask if there was thinking now that maybe you could rename one of them Blackbeard or one of these after one of these pirates that you're seeing in here.
Oh, I wish. Yep. We actually have a mini ROV called Mini ROV, so it'd be fun to rename something like that.
Oh, call it Higemaru, right? Based off of this. Okay, sorry. Sky, you were going to say something.
We're asking about the translated name for this. Remember, folks, this didn't have a U.S. translation. This is a Japanese translation. So this is really called Cook Island, C-O-O-K. But again, the translation got a little jumbled.
One thing I will comment, though, is that, so I brought this up to GDQ staff earlier. This game sort of suffers from some of the same sort of racial insensitivities that were fairly common in Japanese culture at the time. This island is meant to have sort of a tribal African theme to it, and if you look at games from this era, this is actually relatively a common depiction. Don't agree with it, don't support it, but just wanted to not ignore it.
No, very good. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, this is from 1987, I believe. And again, there was no ever U.S. translation. This is a Famicom-only game. So the translations, again, and you'll notice that in a lot of games from this era, they very much don't translate well at all. So unfortunately, that's one of the bad parts about having to play through older games without a translation. Sometimes you don't even know what's going on. Sometimes you don't even get a translation. And back then, you didn't have the internet, so it was very difficult if you were able to get a Famicom back then to know what was going on.
Yeah, it's interesting too that that same what you're mentioning there in terms of the game design. It's also something that a lot of zoos, aquariums, and museums, institutions have to deal with, having been around for a very long time. Is there are a lot of conversations that are happening internally and externally, even to a lot of different places when new exhibits come up. Related to different areas in the world, who's on the design team, who gets to make those design decisions, what kind of stories are being told. And, zoos and aquariums have gone through lots of changes over the years where, back in the day, many zoos were basically just, glorified little circuses that were going around, into now being champions of conservation, naturalistic exposition, a way for people to connect with the natural world and learn about it so that they can take care of it. So always good to acknowledge where it's been and where we're moving forward to. So thanks for bringing that up. But definitely lots of conversations when it comes to this kind of thing in zoo, museum, aquarium worlds as to what stories are being told by how and by whom and how. So, yeah. But then sometimes you just got to go back on a ship and beat up some pirates right after that. So just
always
getting back to basics at the end of the day. We can all agree that that's okay.
So there's a secret thing that I picked up on the first item. Or on the first island. It's a Yashichi symbol, and that symbol actually gave me 10,000 hit points right out the gate. The game starts you with 1,000, and everything honestly in this game hits like a truck. This is designed around an old arcade game where things just did so much damage and wanted you to spend more I guess yen in this case. But this game is like, if you played this casually and you didn't know that that was there, this is a very grindy game, because when you kill enemies, it gives you back a little bit of health, and so you're just wandering around for a while killing enemies, trying to play it safe. But
is it at least enjoyable to play in certain parts there with all the grinding?
So the game itself is, I think, fantastic. It's an adventure game, very much in the vein of like a Zelda game, but it's more puzzle oriented, I think.
Okay.
And I think it's really enjoyable. It's got a lot of like really clever puzzles to it, pretty challenging to play. It suffers from the kind of like poor game design that was common in the era where they didn't think the game was long enough, so they made it really hard, so you'd have to start it over frequently. The problem is that the game is long enough. They just made it hard because they're mean.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, when you're picking up those crates and throwing them at the pirates, if it ends up being more fun than a barrel full of sea monkeys, or if it is just... It had been a minute since a pun, and I really felt that the chat was getting a little bit dormant on puns v no puns, so just had to remind them of what's at stake here.
Oh goodness!
It begins.
I've had nightmares of this, where I'm on GDQ and just inundated with puns.
Oh, buddy, get ready. No,
now you know how Rosentia feels after all these years off with the donations from back in the day.
I was going to say, is it nightmares or premonitions that you were having?
Oh,
oh my god.
Yep.
Makaijima was hard to run. Imagine running it with all these puns in the background.
He's having nightmarines currently on the ship.
Secrets, yeah.
But it is incredible. Like the graphics look so much like Zelda. Like the rocks are... I mean, those look like the same rocks. Yeah. It's just reskinned, huh?
Yeah, it has a lot of similarities. I mean, Zelda was... it was such a massive hit that I think a lot of games were trying to do their take on it. And the original arcade game that this is based on was really just these ship sections. It was just like an endless onslaught of pirates, and you just kill as many as you can, and then you kill a boss, and you just magically get transported to the next ship. And they decided, well, wouldn't it be really cool if there's like this giant mystery and you have to go on all these islands? And I say yes. I personally say yes. It's very cool.
Those screen scrolls never get old. They're so cool to look at every single time.
And so when you're seeing the screen scroll, what are we actually seeing from the game? Is that like a hidden part that the game references on itself? Like what are you seeing with the screen scroll there?
It's slightly displaced versions of the maps. It's maps, but maybe slightly shifted to the left or to the right, depending on which direction you're scrolling. And I have to look at sort of visual references in that just visual garbage to figure out where to stop. Otherwise, I end up probably inside of a wall.
Gotcha. And how do you trigger the screen scrolls?
It's a one-frame input, 1/60th of a second. You hit the pause button as soon as you touch a screen boundary, and it just the scroll happens at the same time as being paused, and the stop never triggers.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
Ben, do you wish you could just like hit pause real quick, like somewhere outside of Moss Landing Harbor, and magically teleport yourself over to your research site instead of having to go out?
Just all the way through the whole science mission. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pause and teleport through time and space.
Yeah.
So that it's just over.
I mean, well, when we had Jess on yesterday talking about sea otters, we were definitely hitting pause a lot, but it didn't involve any scrolls. Well, it did involve some otter scrolling mechanics that ended up happening. We got some tentacles here on screen.
Yeah, I was fighting a kraken.
Giant squid or kraken, yeah, something like that.
Well, I mean, the puns that came before this, I was definitely cracking myself up, but now that we've got I know that one tentacles everybody, but we're suckers for good cephalopod puns. We've talked about those before, but actually, that specifically, you saw those two long tentacles with the clubs at the end. That's how you know that it's a specific type of squid that is related to a giant squid, where they have those those club at the end of their tentacles with often those will have teeth on them, or in the case of some other squid, the suction cups will have little teeth rings inside of them, but some of them have hooks on the end. And so it's actually thought that giant squid might be hanging out in the water column, kind of horizontal, dangling their tentacles down and using those claws at the end of the hooks to kind of trap door and close around fish that might swim through them.
So you can tell what type of squid it is based on sort of the shape of those.
Yeah, if we had, the shape of those clubs is distinctive of the type of squid that you might be dealing with. There's loads of huge squid out there, but the club-tipped squid friends are it's very distinctive if you find one on the beach.
So that one that was depicted there was of a specific type that you recognize? Very
likely a giant squid, I would imagine.
Okay.
Architeuthis is the genus name there.
This is from Richard, our restreamer, also in the chat, says, I got an inkling that Oth will finish.
That's right.
We haven't gotten to the hard parts yet, but
this is
going smoothly.
Doing an incredible job so far.
Thank you.
No squidding. You're crushing.
That is not a commentary, Chris. I did not say things were going well so far.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's not my fault.
I appreciate the compliment. I'm not superstitious.
Oh, so by the way, the game did provide an in-game pun there through the bad translation. It said Mermaid Island before, so Mar meaning sea.
Nice.
Pretty funny. I like that.
Appreciate it.
So this island, by the way, is a reference, actually, since this was made by Capcom, this is actually a reference to the Ghouls and Ghosts series. I definitely scrolled too far. Please don't be in a wall. That's fine. I literally just saved state at the beginning of this island. I was in a wall.
You were in a wall.
I want to be perfectly clear. I was fully and unashamedly in a wall there.
It's basically like a death in any normal video game. That's what we're treating it as.
It's It's like a death, except for you got to hit the reset button.
It's definitely not as enjoyable as the movie WALL-E, because that had...
I can't find my door.
Oh no.
So the screen scroll has this specific property that aside from just like letting you travel very fast and skipping through some rooms that otherwise might have obstacles, it also does this interesting thing where depending on where you stop the screen scroll, it basically gives you what you end up seeing after the screen scroll is complete is you see a room that is made up of half of one room and half of another. It's like part of it is copied and pasted and part of another room is copied and pasted, and they're joined together to make one hybrid room. And that gets exploited at quite a few spots to like patch together rooms in very convenient ways. But it also comes with its own caveats of very easy to trap yourself if you create the top half of a room that has a wall above you and the bottom half of a room that has a wall below you.
Oh, whoa. This is very fascinating learning about the intricate nature. I was about to say intricacies of it, but that was a little bit too on the nose even. I was just going to say, it seemed like you had some zombies back in that last room, so if you were screen scrolling into that, it'd be more of a scream scroll once you arrived at the end there.
That one's good. I support that one.
Oh, okay. All right, we're warming up to each other.
So like there's this like up and down zigzag in this segment right here, which is kind of annoying, but I can screen scroll just a little bit and end up copying the top of the room above me so that the zigzag's much smaller.
Oh, dang. I feel like I've definitely had that happen to a Word document when I tried to copy and paste something from somewhere else and the formatting broke, but...
No, that's when you like try and insert a picture into a Word document.
Exactly.
And, like move it a millimeter and everything just breaks. Yeah.
I actually do have a question for y'all. So they had the OpenSea camera on the Monterey Bay site. Why are there bubbles on it?
It's just because of our bubbly personalities at the aquarium. We wanted to represent that.
Oh my goodness.
It's a very good question. The reason that there's bubbles in front of the OpenSea cam is because Right now, we're not open. We're closed at the moment because of the coronavirus. And so there are no visitors in the hall that would normally help the fish know where the window is a little bit better during the day. That bubble curtain goes on at night, every night, no matter what is going on, because it helps fish that might be semi-sleeping be able to tell where the window is, because those fish in particular never stop swimming, even when they're sleeping. And so just to let them know where the window is at night, it's sort of their night light with the bubbles there in front of the window. It gets turned off during feeding times. That way they don't get startled by the bubbles or something. But yeah, we've had the bubbles on most of the day since we don't have any visitors in the exhibit hall at the moment. That's what those bubbles are for.
That's really cute.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now about the bubble curtain.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
That's what it's for. Yeah, and Emily mentioned yesterday in the Echo run talking about different cool things that make soaps in the ocean called surfactants. So the bubbles there are made out of air, but every so often, if you look at our Monterey Bay cam, you'll see that the ocean is not super blue. In fact, it might look really kind of gross and scummy on the surface with some soap there, and there are plankton that produces soap in the bay every so often. That soap helps float them up nearer to the surface so they can get more sunlight and they don't get mixed back down into the other water layers out there. So sometimes we'll have soapy bubbles out there that can actually be a big deal for seabirds because that soap can strip them of their waterproofing on their feathers when they're diving down. So every so often there'll be a bloom, a harmful algal bloom that produces the surfactants that Emily was mentioning yesterday. And those surfactants can cause some havoc with seabirds. In fact, there is a type called Akoshiwa sanguinea, which is, I believe it was a Japanese researcher that named it. And it basically makes the ocean turn Mountain Dew Code Red color. And so one time I went diving in the kelp, and you had this layer of the Akoshiwa sanguinea. So sanguine, you can hear it in the name sanguine, like the red color. And there was like blue water mixed in with some of this red color, mixed in with the green and yellow. So it was like basically like diving in a Rastafarian painting, basically, of just reds and greens and like blues of the ocean and yellows. And it was just really, really incredible. So
I appreciate that instead of describing the color as just a very vivid red, you knew that for this crowd,
Mountain Dew Code Red
was going to be really recognizable as a reference.
Hey,
I didn't mean to overstep, but I figured that would make sense.
Real quick, I've been told your PB is about to finish in about 5 minutes or less now at this point.
Oof.
No
my
pressure.
PB was trying really hard, to be fair. All right.
I also have a question for Patrick from the chat. Does Patrick talk in puns during everyday conversation? Just curious. We were talking about this before the show started. I asked Patrick, did I have a prayer jar? Okay.
Well, you didn't have to out me like that, Emily and Ben. Jeez.
And if you were to give Patrick a pun jar, if there was $1 for every swear every day, Patrick said wouldn't be going so well.
I'd be on the street by the end of the stream. Yeah, rent would as I've mentioned previously, I grew up bilingual, and so I feel like I have debilitating word association syndrome from just having to pick up by being dropped off in school one day in French public school by my parents, just like, "Well, have a good day," and at 4 years old, having no idea what anyone around me was saying. So I got pretty good at trying to figure out what sounds like what as just a survival mechanism when I was a kid. But no, definitely, I'm allowed to do more puns with all of you all, if only because we're currently quarantined and you can't get to me physically. And so
there's literally no danger in your life for doing more.
Right. Puns. So, so that's kind of where the puns came from. But I do have people in my life like Emily that act as a huge buffer against the rest of the world. And so we should get some W's in the chat for Emily for just like being that person who is there next to my brain the most. 11 years, Emily.
7
years.
Yeah, 7 years of my life.
Why are you all booing? I'm right.
No, a friend of mine once said that my condition that I have is conversational flatulence where you just really needed someone to know what was inside of you. And sometimes it's funny. And then after a certain volume, it is a little bit too much to bear and people leave the room. So, that's pretty much the explanation. So the short answer is yes, but I can turn it on and off as people shame me into complacency.
This music is really unsettling.
I have no idea where I just stopped scrolling there. I got really nervous that I was going to end up inside of a wall, and I was like, well, I should just end it now, and it almost ended really badly.
Well, you got about half an hour still off with this very generous estimate, so...
Well, that's great. That means that if I mess up, I can just reset, and then just got to get a world record pace run.
No worries.
Is this
how hard could that be? It only took me 3 days to get it last time.
Well, just right now, I just really like the way that you're using your head to try to defeat this, monster, or the heads of many of the other people who failed.
Yeah, they all tried. Yeah,
they also weren't sure where they were.
This island's called Dokuro, which is Japanese for skull, if I'm not mistaken. And the whole island is skull-shaped, and there's like this giant heart. It's honestly quite morbid, even for a Famicom game. Like, it's way darker than even most horror-themed Japanese games were at the time.
And just casual heart making the river of blood happen over there in the corner.
Yeah, honestly, no big deal. Just giant skull, giant heart.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, there's some good biology there if you want to talk about the different valves, and atria, and that's your aorta. Anyway, sorry, Emily,
you have a lot of experience with island hearts.
No, not too. Not too much.
How worried do you get, Ben, about just finding random hearts in the deep sea?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, you find skulls of stuff all the time, though.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we find all kinds of whale body parts, and there's been a couple shipwrecks that we've come across, and some in the Mediterranean that have had bones and other things.
Oh, whoa! What are the other? What are the other things? Or you're not allowed to?
Well, there's been some gold vases, some treasures.
Ben, you've actually
yeah.
found treasure.
And is a real pirate. I knew we invited you on this
legal reasons.
All right, everybody. Whoa. Do you feel safe?
For legal reasons, he did not find any treasure.
Right. Right.
Passed Off has just walked across the finish line.
Well, Passed Off was a try hard. Calm down.
For those of you watching this, especially if you've been following the Mercy Kill series on YouTube in particular, if you're wondering why the estimate does look so generous, if you die in this game, and I'm not talking about the soft lock, we're doing something different with that, but if you genuinely die in this game, there are no continues, there are no lives. Hence, I wanted to give Oth a chance to restart the whole game had he died early on, but I think from this point on, it's kind of finished the run or bust. So that is the interesting component here.
This island is like the big. This is the one where all the routing really solved this game, because this is the island you're supposed to come back to like 4 times with different items in hand. Like, this door is not even supposed to open until you go to the end of the game and discover that you're missing something.
What?
Yeah, it's a mean game, like I mentioned. Yeah, the final door that's supposed to lead to the great treasure that you're hunting is locked, and you're supposed to find out that there's something that you missed on this island, and it's only through going to the end of the game that door even unlocks.
Wow.
Yeah, cruel, an unusual punishment. But fortunately, through the power of breaking it, I'm able to not have to do that.
So,
is this Snake from Metal Gear Solid? Like the first iteration.
Oth, what happens if you run out of barrels?
Don't run out of barrels. He does take most of the barrels on screen, for what it's worth. You can really only afford to miss like 6.
Wow.
You made me a little nervous there, Oth.
Fortunately, I thought that there was going to be a problem when I was routing this, because the door doesn't go away either. So it's like, well, the door's still going to be there. But fortunately, it just lets you walk down through it. This game's wild.
Wow.
It's a good speed game.
Ben, do you have those kinds of extender grapple hooks on the remotely operated vehicle yet, or those are still causing too many casualties back on home base for you to deploy them in the wild?
We no, we don't have any extender hooks yet. We have some other things that extend out, like we call it the schnoz. It's a device. It's basically like a vacuum cleaner fitting that we take with the arm, and we extend it out, and we can suck up fish and rocks and things like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no grappling hooks yet.
And just as a reminder for folks who may not have been, yet being the key term. If for those of you just joining us in the chat, if you didn't hear from Ben earlier, Ben is one of the people who helps reenact alien abduction movies, but with deep sea organisms and things all the time, coming down with big bright lights so we can study the deep ocean. It's critical for our understanding of what happens on our planet, because the deep sea is the largest habitat on Earth. It's 95% of the real estate. So everything that's going on land is barely 1% of what our planet has to offer in terms of living space. So definitely really important work. But if you think about it a little bit too much there, Deep Sea Abe or Deep Sea Ben here, he's learning. He's a pirate discovering treasure and going down with his soon-to-be grappler hooks out there. So careful if
ROV pirate.
ROV pirate. Ooh. Ben, is that your first pun on the stream?
It might be.
Hey!
But it won't be the last one.
Yay.
One of us. Join me, Ben.
So I don't know if you do like aliens, there are some in the next game.
Very excited about those.
Oh yeah.
And that's definitely something that we bristle at when we're talking about deep sea organisms being aliens. There's certainly more things that live in the deep sea are more adapted to what's more common on our planet than what we're doing here. Breathing in this, what used to be a toxic gas of oxygen here in the atmosphere, and living our lives outside of the blue part of the planet, certainly a modern invention in terms of what organisms have been doing there. So the aliens are here on land, as we can see from this game.
This is our last island. Surprisingly, despite the fact that I've been somewhat diligent about making these save states, I haven't really needed them aside from one unfortunate mistake. I kind of expected way more than that. This is heading into the final boss. True to form as a Capcom game, the final boss is a Capcom villain. It's a Red Aramer from Ghouls and Ghosts. That said, while that fight is actually extraordinarily hard, like even compared to all the things we've been talking about this whole time, it's unreasonably difficult even in context. One of the nice tricks was on the second island, I actually went pretty far out of bounds, more than I was supposed to, and collected an item that just instantly kills the final boss. So this is supposed to be a big fight right here. This is supposed to be a big fight right here, but that sword right there just did the hard work for me, and time's coming up.
Hey!
And that's fun.
That's it this time?
Yep.
Dang, we should have did your original 45-minute estimate. I was genuinely
I told
afraid.
you this one wasn't going to be too bad.
Wow.
This one looked tough. I was trying to allow room in case you died, which again, there's no forgiveness in this game. So get out your GGs. Authors beat the first timer. 29-20.
Amazing.
How did that go? I mean, that's probably one of the better times we've had here on Mercy Kill from a time to PD ratio. Pretty good.
Yeah, finding my old maps today was the big boon here, because otherwise it would have been an extra like half an hour of me just hunting for a boat on the ocean. But finding those maps made a big difference. I think it went really well. I'm actually happy about this, and now I know that I've used up my good luck before E.V.O.
What's the world record on this so far, on this game?
This game right here, 23-24, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Hey.
Nice job.
So that, but with fewer mistakes.
That was excellent.
You did it.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that.
You should be happy.
Ben, are you inspired to do different explorations of islands now from seeing this?
I'm always inspired to do more exploration. That's fun. That's always fun.
That's
Nice.
his secret. He's always inspired.
His secret? Yeah.
Secret.
Oh no.
I don't know. I'm also worried that we might have reignited a spark in you, Ben. That's just to relive your pirate days of the past. So.
Those
I'm
good
definitely
old pirate days.
Yeah.
Those classic pirate days.
Yeah, just that swashbuckling. Yeah.
I remember my
Absolute
pirate phase.
piracy.
So,
man.
a couple of things I want to make sure we do before we go to the break. First of all, please all follow Author Blues. Our bigger run is after this. This was kind of the warm up. The real difficult mountain to climb is very much on the back of this run. But why don't we plug again the YouTube and the Twitch for the Monterey Bay Aquarium so people know where to go for that information.
Absolutely. Yeah. Head over to twitch.tv/MontereyAQ and give us a sub if you would like to. We're going to be doing more gaming with Animal Crossing, Abzu coming up. And we also stream our live animal cams and our Monterey Bay cam throughout the week. And then every so often we'll do some cool deep sea chats with some of our colleagues from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. We've already done a few with Ben's colleagues and Ben himself, if you want to see more about that research there. And then on Thursdays, actually tomorrow morning, I'll be diving in the kelp forest exhibit, feeding some sharks. If you want to tune in to that, we'll be live with the kelp forest exhibit. So lots of live streams over there. And then if you don't mind telling your friends and family to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Monterey Bay Aquarium. When you search it over there, our YouTube channel is just about 900 followers away from reaching 100,000, which will really help us out. Once we reach 100K, we'll be able to have fundraising capabilities on that channel. And with the Monterey Bay Aquarium currently closed due to the coronavirus, we don't have any tickets, which is the way that we usually pay the bills. So all of you folks out there subscribing on Twitch or throwing us a sub over on YouTube, if you don't have the monetary means of helping us out, that's no worries. That subscription really helps us out to do some fundraising in the future. And our mission is to inspire conservation of the ocean. And we're just so thankful to be here on the stream to chat with all of y'all. Emily, did I miss anything? How'd I do on the plug front?
Yep.
Nailed it like a hammerhead shark. You see, Author's laughing a lot at these.
No, I love it. You remind me so much of me. You know, just anyone asks a question, you make a joke until finally everyone's exasperated enough, and you know it's time you have to answer it for real. And I love that.
Exactly.
We are brothers in another life.
Oh. My bro Sidon from across the great Author Blues sea. Okay, that felt more pained. But yeah, you can also head over if you're looking for educational resources, MontereyBayAquarium.org. We've got educational programs and lesson plans for you folks out there who may have some kiddos at home that you are going to be doing some homeschooling with, or if you're doing digital learning with your classes, we've got lots of resources on our website there as well. Yeah, that's pretty much us.
Awesome.
Give us a sub.
Like a submarine.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to be hearing this for the next week from him, and he's just going to keep going off about all these things.
But see, just like a sub diving down to the deep sea, I got to say that pun was abysmal.
All right, and with that, before the break, folks, Mercy Kill is brought to you by viewers like you. If you'd like to support the stream as well as the other programs on GDQ Hotfix, please consider subbing to the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, remember you do have a Twitch Prime sub, so please consider using that if you have not already to sub to the channel. Remember, SGDQ 2020 online prize submissions are now open. If you're interested in submitting a prize, go to gamesdonequick.com for more information on that. This Thursday, which would be tomorrow evening, we have the first step at 7 p.m. where we will see if Hobbs can finish Link's Awakening this week. With the 2019 remake, let's see if any of his LADX gameplay transfers over. And Author, you're not done. You have a very big run to do, but we're going to take a quick break. And let's see if E.V.O Search for Eden goes as swimmingly as Makaijima did. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mercy Kill. This is episode 4. We had Makaijima a few seconds ago, and now this is E.V.O Search for Eden, the main headliner for tonight. We have Author Blues here, where, again, we ran down his 100 plus speedruns and counting like a grocery list and handpicked this one out for Ocean Week. So thank you so much to Auth for being a good sport. This is the Japanese version, and we're going to get into that in a second. I also have the Monterey Bay Aquarium crew here, and we also have a new person here. If you want to introduce yourself before we go in the interview, that would be awesome.
Go, Joel.
Hi. So, yeah, my name's Joel. I'm the digital strategist for our membership department, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
Yay!
Hey, we're thrilled to have you.
We're happy to have you here. All right, so while we listen to this beautiful, beautiful music from Enix here, Auth, I want to ask you a few things about E.V.O. You and I had actually raced this game together a couple of years ago. It was a very close race, too. It was only the difference of the final boss on my end. And no, I'm not running this one tonight, although I did think about it. So, Auth, why are you picking the J version over the US version?
So the Japanese version has a number of small changes to it, mostly in terms of some bosses being easier or the patterns being more straightforward. Both versions are speedrun and they're kept separate. So if people want to run the Japanese version or the English version, those are different categories, but the Japanese version is the one I'm more familiar with. The English version is actually considerably harder to speedrun.
Yeah, and again, the estimate on this one is very generous for that reason. Things can go south very quickly. The good news on this one, we'll talk about safety strats in a second, you can create a save file. And why would you want a save file? Every single time you die, you lose half of your E.V.O points, which is pretty big. Those E.V.O points are your lifeline. You use them in accordance with whatever boss you're doing. So you need to evolve certain parts in order to get past certain bosses quicker, as well as you can use those E.V.O points, especially if you are playing or learning the speedrun for the first time. You can use those to change body parts during a boss to fully revive your HP. It's a wonderful exploit, and it's a good way to kind of get into the game. And we'll talk about the speedrunners of the game and the history of speedrunning in this game when we dive into this game as well. I cannot guarantee there won't be any puns. There's going to be just a ton here. So pardon the puns, of course.
And but, that was Otter Blues up on the screen just then.
That's right.
Yep.
Amazing.
So, Auth, we'll talk about, speedrunning strats for this game, who created them. Those are all very important elements. I wanted to let you know, though, how many safety strats do you plan to use?
I know some backup strats for every single boss, so I'm probably going to take it easy on quite a few of them, not try to push myself too hard. There's a lot of sort of weird mechanics in this game, things like being able to instantly swap between old evolutions, and they're timed, so I'm probably going to try to play it pretty conservatively. A lot of times when you swap, you do it to gain some speed, but I'm probably going to wait as long as possible to use it in an effort to preserve it for as long as possible.
And for those of you who would like to run this game, and again, we'll talk about resources, but the people who, or one particular person who has developed resources of this game has done a wonderful job in making this game accessible to speedrunners. And again, we'll try to balance the speedrunning aspect of this game with the ocean and environmental aspect of this game, because both of those are very important. We'll probably spend chapter 1 talking more about the wildlife, because again, we have our Monterey Bay Aquarium crew here. We'll do that. As we get into chapter 2 and 3, we'll talk a little bit more about the speedrunning aspects of that. And with that being said, Auth, is there anything else you want to mention about this game before we start, knowing kind of how we're going to divide up the discussion here?
No, not really. The first world's pretty straightforward, a lot of swimming. But I do want to say that my estimate is so generous just because of the fact that this will probably involve a lot of saving and reloading on boss fights, which might be pretty slow. So it looks like that estimate is way generous. I mean, it's twice my PB, but I think, this is either going to be close to PB or I'm going to run over. I don't think there's a lot of in between. So.
You also didn't ask to run this game, so again, we're being very generous.
I didn't ask to run any of these.
So one last thing, is there any part of this game in particular you're dreading? And that could be while you were speedrunning it or just playing this again for the first time in a couple of years.
Yeah, every boss fight I'm dreading. There's about 12 of them, so No big deal.
So some people were asking, well, what makes this game so dangerous? If you do not know exact strats on bosses, you don't have invincibility frames in this game. They are close to non-existent. A lot of speedrunners rely on iframes or invincibility frames to get through certain parts of bosses. And you'll see that if Oth gets nabbed by any of these bosses, it's pretty much an auto death and he'll have to load a save. So... There's that. I mean, this game is relentless. There's a reason why we gave Oth double the PB. In addition to, it's mercy kill. You're playing a rusty game. Games
we're
get
gonna
rusty.
have fun.
Yeah.
I love that you're putting so much pressure on this run, just like the deep sea presses down on all of its denizens. So this is really good to just get into the mood here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And the timer will start with the first stage. No, Oth is not cheating for those of you watching on YouTube. The timer does start when you gain your first movement in the first stage.
Well, when you select the first level.
Well, when you select the first level, yes. So what happens here is, in story-wise, because I don't know how many people can read Japanese, as far as I can understand it, and Oth can correct me, I believe this whole game is you are one of Gaia's creations, and I believe you're searching for a partner, aren't you?
Something like that. There's like Martians who are trying to shape the path of evolution on the planet Earth in order to have a certain outcome. Like they want to terraform it for their purposes. And Gaia's like, well, what if I create the perfect creature, get it a mate, and get it to populate the Earth? Then maybe we can prevent those pesky Martians from causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of that's a real loose explanation of the plot, but.
So again, for those of you who want to know about the speedrunning aspects, we will get to that. We just want to get past chapter 1 first, because again, there's a lot of ocean facts and wildlife we want to cover. So yeah, speedrunning in about a world or so.
Yeah, this is a sequel to a game for the PC 98, an old Japanese computer, and the plotline for that one was just replace Martians with Satan. That's it.
Oh my.
All right, you want me to get started and we can start talking about the ocean?
Yeah, let's hear about some wildlife facts. I'm very interested in hearing about some ocean facts.
Yeah,
Ready?
Let's get in motion and talk about the ocean.
There we go. I'm going to count us in. All right. Can this run use previously saved creatures? Yes, but not previous to this run. I have to save them during the run. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Good luck and have fun, Oth.
I'll need it. All right.
Oh, boy. Oh, so we already see we got a jelly as our first potential enemy there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great. We talk a lot about jellies in the Monterey Bay. Every so often we'll get them swarming in such numbers that they'll actually collapse our intake system of seawater at the aquarium, and then divers have to go out and replace these 3-foot by 6-foot titanium cages that get crushed like a tin can when there's too many jellies that get stuck onto those filters, and divers have to go out with protective equipment and go and replace those so that we can get more water back into the aquarium. But when that does happen, every so often there'll be little bits of tentacles that can wind up in the tide pool outside the aquarium or in our touch pools, and so the water gets a little bit spicy when that happens at the aquarium. And I just am saying this to plug, head over to the Monterey Bay Aquarium Twitch channel. On our last Animal Crossing VOD, you'll get to see what it looks like when you get stung in the face for an hour and a half by the jellies. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. So I'm glad you're avoiding them already, Oth. I think that's good strats.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. They're very mean in this game too, so I think it's fairly true to form.
All right, Oth, what are you getting? You getting the stingray or you getting eel?
I got the eel.
Spoilers!
Got all the eels.
Yeah, so that is the one transformation orb in this game that transforms you into a random thing. It's either a manta ray or an eel, and the eel is considerably faster if I can put it to good use. That's the operative part here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it only lasts for a limited time, and this gets rid of a lot of the grinding in the game. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask Emily, could you tell us who that first morph was in this evolution game that
I mean, before when we were looking at the little fish that you were playing as, you could definitely tell that it was a Sarcopterygian, a lobed fin fish, just based on the shape of its fins that it was swimming around with there. But Patrick, I was just gonna say that this wouldn't be a true eel that we were looking at here. Yeah,
No.
since it has the pectoral fins on it, so that's more akin to like the wolf eels that we have in our kelp forest exhibit. So a true eel wouldn't have any pectoral fins at all.
Exactly right. Yeah, we need to make sure that the folks out there, we're going to be some true eel truthers on this particular stream, because often people will just say whenever they see a long fish, they're just going to call it an eel. But if it does have pectoral fins, if it looks like it's lifting some weights, it got those pecs there, then you know that it is not, in fact, a true eel. True eels, like moray eels, don't have pectoral fins, and they, in particular, have a larval form known as a leptocephalus larva, where the larva can actually be 6 feet, almost 2 meters long. It can actually be bigger than the adult, and it is perfectly see-through. So if you ever hear the term glass eel, that often is a reference to the leptocephalus larva of a true eel, and for a long time was considered to be a separate organism entirely, until people realized, oh, these things actually just grow into actual eels. So but if you happen to find an elongated fish where the glass larva is half full, that would just be a fish that's really it's just deep into its eels. It's diving deep into its eels. Caught some eels is what I meant to do with the pun. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
You're good. I was told, we noticed Off did gain some evolutions, gain some additional body parts here. I was told that we have an evolutionary biologist here with us, so feel free to talk about any of the additions we make to our character throughout the game.
Yeah,
so I've added hands and feet and a dorsal fin according to the game. I'm certainly not speaking on behalf of whether or not they are anatomically accurate to what they claim to be, but
pretty.
Yeah, as someone with an ecology and evolutionary biology degree, I've actually been pretty delighted with some of the other fish that we've seen in the game so far. Simply because we had a Rustiest there for a second, the little armored fish that was swimming around there. But as far as our evolutions have gone, one evolution does not happen this quickly.
Sure.
In IRL.
For what it's worth, the game does address that. That is Gaia's magic helping us to evolve quickly to solve problems.
Thanks, Gaia, looking out.
Yeah.
The game does not claim that this is true to form evolution.
Apparently the kelp here speak to one another or something like that.
Which is true.
Well, of all of the animals so far that we know are on Twitter, certainly the dunk Rustiest is on there too, because that's what they do over on that platform a lot.
Shark friends.
Oh no. Oh boy. Oh buoy.
Oh buoy.
So our first boss is coming up, and it's visually a giant shark. I don't remember the name for it. It's a curlash. It's a really long K word. I don't remember it. But it's an extremely large ancient shark is what it's supposed to be.
All right, Oz, we gotta let you focus here just for a second. This is
That'll be fine.
This boss.
What could possibly go wrong?
This boss spooked me as a speedrunner. This was my heaviest reset point. The shark is not your friend.
Okay. Well, I'm dead.
Oh dang, that was quick.
So the conceit of this speedrun is that it's supposed to be very grindy. You spend a lot of time getting these evolutionary points, and you build up muscular skin, armored skin, or a horn, and all of these things. And basically, we try to exploit the mechanics to be a glass cannon. We want to do as much damage and screw defending yourself. So any hit is usually death.
Gotcha.
So in case you're wondering what happens when you die, Gaia doesn't show any sympathy. Gaia's just like, oh, I'm sorry, you've been defeated. Half of your evolution points have been deducted. It's like, oh, thanks. Thanks for all that help, Gaia.
Well, I mean, when you consider that 99% of all species that have ever lived on Earth have gone extinct, it seems that that's just being true to real life there. That was the game creators realizing that, it turns out if you are a species on the planet, Gaia often must enjoy the competition that ends up happening there.
The speedrun for this game is particularly nice because we do not spend a lot of time grinding enemies pointlessly. we do manage to get through this without having to spend a lot of time just watching me kill the same 10 enemies over and over.
Yep, there's definitely a lot. Once we get on land, there's definitely a lot we want to talk about.
Oh, he's already mad.
Oh, yes. This aspect. Your visual cue no longer works. The hitbox on this is ridiculous for anyone wondering.
I like this technique.
Hey, second try.
Nice.
First time
Man, that was
second try on that is phenomenal. GG on.
A horn.
Man.
All right, this menuing is pretty critical here.
If you hadn't made it, right. If you hadn't gotten that, I was gonna say that was gonna be a gut punch to the rest of us. But that's what you were too busy doing to the shark, and I think
but
we're doing a lot better now.
The shark doesn't go to waste. It's that circle of life thing where we do not waste food. All right.
That's right. Just true, like in nature, the shark does turn into sushi immediately.
Which, importantly, maybe back when this game was made, that wasn't so much of a big deal. But nowadays, we do a lot of work with the aquarium trying to educate about marine conservation, especially related to sharks, as sharks are one of the most overfished organisms out there in the ocean. So we want more sharks in the ocean, just maybe not those particular angry sharks that come after you to make Gaia happy about that. And by the way, major evolutionary moment, and that looked a little bit like out of 2001: The Space Odyssey with the wall coming up there. I was half expecting you to huck some bones over it.
Yeah, the magic time stream whisks me away, and Gaia advances us to the next age.
Emily, can you describe what we just witnessed there? Because we went from marine to terrestrial very quickly, and then a time portal opened up. So
yeah, I do have to say my heart is broken a little bit because they skipped my favorite evolutionary stage, or my favorite evolutionary fish tetrapod, which is Tiktaalik. But yeah, we skipped over Tiktaalik. There were no breaks in that evolutionary phase right there, going straight from Sarcopterygian, a lobe-finned fish, to our little land-loving tetrapod that we've got right now up on land there.
Yeah, it seems like that particular evolutionary step there took a tick-tock licking, and we kept on ticking.
I will ask you about the way how something works later, because the way how the next boss is done is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, we're encountering a coelacanth, is what it's supposed to be. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but that's
you did.
That's the fish that's in the water here. They have a little dialogue blurb where they say, "We're too old and we really don't care about what your problems are."
Which is funny because coelacanths have been around for hundreds of millions of years, and they are a lobed fin fish that is the most closely related to land-based tetrapods, which we are a part of. So we are more like a coelacanth than a coelacanth is like other things that we call fishes. So we've talked about this. We've talked about this in GDQ streams before, but either we are fish or there's no such thing as fish from an evolutionary standpoint. So, and the coelacanth is the one that lets you know that, because not only do they have those lobed appendages on them, they also have enamel on their teeth, which we also have and other fishes do not.
Oh, wow.
Did I get that correct, Emily? There's more Sarcopterygian coelacanthy stuff out there to mention too.
Oh my goodness, Oth.
Yeah.
These boys are extremely mad at me.
Yeah, they're not
angry
happy.
boys.
Well, you stepped on their heads. Wouldn't you be mad if someone stepped on yours?
I am just absolutely delighted by the jumping mechanic in this game. The face that the animals make.
They seem envious of your mission, because maybe that's why they're so green. Who's that? Oh, with the whoa. Who's that with the helmet there, Emily?
Are we encountering like the first dinosaur-ish things?
Yeah, ish.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'd say ish, loosely, very loosely terming them dinosaurs at the moment.
I don't remember what the English calls this era, but it's supposed to be basically the first creatures to walk on land. So yeah, I don't know.
we've definitely jumped from like the Silurian, kind of Devonian period that we were in before, in kind of the Paleozoic era, and we're definitely heading into the Mesozoic right now. So this is when our dinosaurs would have appeared. So before we were seeing the kind of first fishes in the ocean. I saw Orthoceras, which is an ancient shelled nautiloid, an ancient shelled cephalopod there. If you saw those little octopus-looking things with the big pointy shells on them, those were Orthoceras. So we were definitely in that period before, but now that we're on land and now that we are hanging out kind of in the Mesozoic, that's when we're going to get our first dinosaurs.
So I believe this guy refers to himself as an ichthyosaur.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's this guy or a different one, but I seem to recall that being what this guy refers to himself as.
How about this landfish?
I was about to say this is amazing.
Joel, I saw that you were having mic issues before. Yay, we can hear you again.
Yay!
They're fixed. I was about to say I felt kind of, I don't know, I was feeling Gaia watching her champion animal. I don't know what her expectations were, but they probably weren't to have him pogo stick around on top of other animals.
Right.
Or, changing into a unicorn fish and stabbing something else.
Yeah, that fight should have gone differently, but he really got away from me. This speedrun is actually pretty impressively optimized. Our RP Godfather, RP Gaming Thief, Green Mixtape, whatever username he is going by right now, he is pretty much the main and currently only active speedrunner of this game. He created almost all the strats for this. I mean, predating him is Darkwing Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Darkwing Ducks runs. But most of the modern strats are definitely from RP, and he's also created a number of tutorials. So if you want to learn this game, it's actually a really impressive speedrun.
Wow.
And the tutorials are really informative too. RP did a wonderful job on those. So if you're looking to learn the speed game, this one is fun. I would highly recommend it, and the resources are just there thanks to RP's work.
Well, did you just add yourself some some neck wings?
Yeah, it's a back of the head upgrade is what the game calls it.
Okay.
It gives me a little more speed. That's its function in game. I don't really know what these would be from like anatomy standpoint.
I mean, it makes you look like you're about to spit some venom on Newman trying to escape with the genetics from Jurassic Park, but that's.
It has been brought to my attention. This was the name of the split from all these years ago. The name of this split was called Anime Lizard, and the next one's called Anime Dinosaur.
Okay. Well, they're all very anime.
Nice.
Oh, this is such a sad scene. I forgot about this.
Yeah, that guy died trying to fight a giant bee that took over this cave, and
dang.
And survival of the fittest. If he's gonna die, I'm gonna make use of the resources.
I mean, as an evolutionary biologist, I support that. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Eggs of the thing that just got killed?
No, I'm eating I think this is supposed to be like the larva of the thing that I'm about to fight, and he's mad at me because I'm currently eating the larva.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
really,
I don't mean
mad.
I don't mean to take its side, but like it's understandable, I guess.
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I'm in the wrong here.
See what this tail does for us movement here. You'll see this in the boss. Look at that. Springtail, I think it's called, if I remember properly.
I don't know what the proper strat is, but I would say maybe go for the bee's knees or
okay. I'll do that.
Something like that. Okay, yeah, no, I don't know if that's what you should do, but just for the sake of the pun. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, so it's scary.
I'm allergic to wasps, actually, so this is I feel this very
I was taken aback by the size of it. I didn't think it'd be so huge.
Yeah, I was wondering, have you evolved an EpiPen yet? Because I couldn't be in this cave with you. Nicely done.
That was a good fight. That was pretty good.
Although I'm a little perturbed that the bee, which is an invertebrate, just dropped some meat that had a very clear bone.
Yes,
running right through the middle. So.
Certainly.
I mean, they definitely got it. They got it right in the first world because the fish just dropped like sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bees bees have bones. Fun facts from
No,
the
Emily,
game.
These bees apparently have bones.
Yeah, we may have come across, sometimes organisms lose characteristics that they developed, and they realize, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be made of steak, and then went with something lighter a little bit later
Yeah,
on. In their
it was a big
evolutionary history.
mistake that they made.
It's a mistake. I've got a bone to pick with that pun, but we've moved on already. It seems like.
So we have a couple of great puns from chat. I just want to share here. These puns sting, and then Muffet says, "How else can you get beanies?" So thanks y'all.
Oh well, I think anybody who has an issue with those bee puns should honeycomb over here and say it to my face.
Jeez,
that works.
It's nonstop. I love this. It's distracting me from the fact that I'm a whole world behind my personal best.
Oh no.
Another good one. The stakes have risen for puns down. Speaking of the stakes right now, you are at 1804 right now as I'm seeing this. You are already in the dino world in your PV right now.
Apparently.
If you had been playing this game with other people together and that bee came across, it could have been a Paul Land party. I was waiting for a gap in the conversation, and that wasn't my best work, but
I think that one hurt just a little bit. It was so much of a stretch.
So that bee we killed, that bee has a significant otter.
Oh my goodness gracious! Look at this thing. Oh, it's so terrifying.
Oh,
Can we mention though?
No.
Emily, we should mention though that back in the day, insects did get to be way, way bigger than they currently are because of oxygen levels in the atmosphere.
Yeah, they did get to be way, way better, Pat. Yeah.
Way bigger. Yeah, they were like 6 feet across because there was so much more oxygen in the air. Yeah, if you haven't heard of the Carboniferous period, but there was a time where trees invented lignin, and so nothing could digest them anymore. So you would just have these trees that would grow and die and fall over, and nothing was digesting all the standing wood. So you had centuries long wildfires burning all around the world when there would be lightning that might hit a stand of these dead trees that were just sitting there. And then finally, after a few million years, I believe it was a fungi or a fungal figured out how to that there wasn't mushroom left on the planet, and ended up getting a little mycelium and started digesting the lignin there. So mushrooms are the ones that figured out how to digest those standing trees and got us out of the Carboniferous period and helped adjust the oxygen content of the atmosphere to something more approximating what we have today. But back in the day, when there was more oxygen in the air, you had 6 foot long dragonflies. They were massive because there was just more
6
ability.
feet long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Because there was more oxygen in
terrifying
the air.
time.
Yeah. A terrifying time. So thanks for getting us out of that period, though. It was bugging me. So we're out.
So now we're in the age of dinosaurs right now, as if things couldn't get any more wild. They have.
They
The
have.
expression is so great on this little dinosaur too. It does switch back pretty wildly from like overly mad to overly smug.
So these green orbs that I've been finding are resources that allow me to recall a past evolution. So if at any point in the past I'm happy with an evolution that I've created, it works well for me. You can actually record it. It's just referred to as recording an evolution. And I can return to it temporarily anytime I want to by using one of these green orbs. And that's actually one of the ways that this speedrun is so fast, is because you basically power up at the end of a world, save it, and then at the beginning of the next world you recall it. So here I'm recalling the super overpowered boy we were at the end of the last world.
Oh, whoa! This is Pachycephalosaurus, right? Is it Emily? Yes.
Yeah.
The ones that run. Yeah, I got one.
You did it.
Emily knows her dinosaurs a bit better. Those ones.
A little bit better.
Those ones are brainiacs.
Joel is also good with his dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So one of the stories within this chapter is there's this poor little this little tiny dino that keeps getting bullied. That Triceratops is like, yo, where's
Please find my child.
Yeah,
Please find my child.
And then you notice that this child gets bullied by like these massive frogs. So you help out the child, and then suddenly there's all these dinosaurs that kind of gather around you as you get stronger, and they want you to join them. So if you end up choosing the yes option, and again, this is why menuing is important, the game automatically ends saying you got caught in the meteor shower after partying with the dinosaurs a little too much.
The PC-98 game ends the game instantly. This one, you get a cutscene saying, that was a really stupid choice, and
Whoa.
it drops you back off.
Oh man!
Basically, the T-Rexes, or what looks like a T-Rex, says you're either with us or against us, and if you say, "Okay, I'm with you," the game just says, "That was dumb."
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because it shows you the meteor shower coming down and killing them all, and it's like, well, if you had just evolved past this, you wouldn't have been taken out with them.
There's a couple of, and we'll address these as we get there. There's a couple of forks in the road where if you choose the wrong one, you'll get this own alternative bad ending cutscenes. So those are the ones you want to avoid.
Here's where we find out that the frogs have been harassing the, I guess, Triceratops baby.
Yeah.
Poor is their name Sarah? What was the name of the famous Triceratops?
Sarah.
Sarah. Nice.
So this is the mama frog saying, "Hey, what are you doing? Let them bully them." And you're supposed to say, "No, we're not going to accept bullying here."
So it's a bully frog?
Yeah.
It would be a bully frog, wouldn't it be? Nice.
Very good.
I mean, certainly, I can't tell how old this one is. With all the evolution going on, there's a chance it was a precursor to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So Up has to be very careful here and not kill this frog too much off.
I did the thing I said I shouldn't have done. How much?
Oh no!
How much experience do I need?
Quite a bit.
A lot. Where's my save? I'm just gonna reload the save. That was actually really bad. If I end too far to the right, a lot of the health goes off the edge of the screen, or the power up goes off the edge of the screen. And then I went with it, so that wasn't any better.
Oh, they said you croaked in chat. That's a really good pun, but also very mean.
So in this game, you do have saves you can go back to. So this is one way, if you're trying to learn the game, again, kind of going back into that speedrun guide we were talking about before, there are different saves you can do, so you can practice this game too. It's a really great game for speedrunning in that sense. Is this where I think it is? This is the B, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm set back a little bit.
Do I need to remind you to save off?
I realized upon entering the Prime Frog that I didn't save, and I was like, well, there's certainly no way this could go badly.
Well, your punishment is you have to take down this bee again.
That's fine, the bee's easy.
We also have time to talk about how you referred to it as health, but I think it was babies exploding out of the back.
Yeah, you want to back that one a little bit?
Yeah, we're dressing it up for TV a little bit.
I can't believe it.
I have seen frogs like that have like the babies living in the little back holes.
Well, actually, if I let that boss go a little bit and don't keep attacking it constantly, the babies like crawl out of the hole in the back of the frog's back.
Oh.
Which is something that a lot of amphibians do, and where they'll have their little babies there carrying around there on their back.
I was waiting for you to say, actually lots of amphibians fire babies out of their back for protection.
No, I was just gonna wait for you to say that so I could roll my eyes and go, totally, Joel, totally. Yeah.
It's gotta be hard having to set up those jokes.
Sorry, I was hopping around all of the different amphibian puns we could get to, but I knew that there would be one at some point. Sorry, that was axolotl of of puns in a row there from amphibian.
I'm genuinely impressed that you just fit axolotl in there.
Well, people were saying I should cut it out and give it the axolotl. That was a pun on the first part of the word instead of the last part. I'm sorry, everybody. I did want to appreciate that there were lots of really amazing dinosaurs back there. With we had some stegosauruses, we had some sauropods and other amazing organisms that you just kind of soared right over there with your extra wing. Oh, sorry, Pokerot. I don't mean to ruin it. And yeah, Farfellow X says I'm not sorry at all, and that's correct.
Yeah, that's true.
Joel, did you play this game a lot back in the day before the aquarium days?
Not back in the day. I had a friend actually that works at the aquarium that recommended it because I really enjoy games from Enix, which is the company that made this game.
This is long before their merge with Square to become Square Enix and making the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a merger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool.
It's funny. This kind of is a role-playing game. There is, I mean, you get experience and stuff. It's just a really wacky version of one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the original game that this was a sequel to, the PC 98 game, 46 Okumen, Monogatari, the Shinkaron, that game is more of a turn-based RPG. So you like encounter a creature and you are a creature and you take turns either attacking or what's the word I'm looking for? Diplomacy, trying to like calm them down or something. And so it does have sort of a turn-based bent to it, so you can kind of see where they went from there.
Emily, is Diplodocus still an accepted name for a dinosaur, or did that change? Diplodocus is still valid, right?
Yeah, Diplodocus is still valid.
Okay, I just wanted to check before I noted the pun on diplomacy, right? On that.
Don't worry, I won't Diplodoc any of those points.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Wait, actually,
go ahead.
I have a dinosaur-related question for Emily.
Oh, okay. I will try my best.
I've heard it referred to as Diplodocus and Diplodocus, and I don't know if there's a preferred nomenclature.
As someone who read way too much as a child and did not speak to too many people, even throughout my college years, I am more book learned than speaking to other people learned. I say you follow your dinosaur heart, whatever feels right.
I think Diplodocus is probably closer to what it's meant to be, Joel, after saying Diplodocus, but that's definitely how I used to say it. Yeah, Diplodocus is probably there.
There you go.
Oh.
Hey! And we're eating them.
I took that a little slower. There's actually a setup for that fight where because his hitbox her hitbox goes wide every time she jumps, you actually like bite way far away from her so that as soon as she tries to jump, it hits her hitbox and it keeps her in place rather than sliding around the stage. That takes practice, and I haven't played this game for years, so I don't apologize.
A problem if you had and you were playing this on here.
By the way, there's a stage that I skipped. You can see it a little bit earlier. If you take that path there, that goes up to the top of the mountain where Gaia will be happy to transform you into a bird if you'd like to.
As a bird enthusiast, why would we avoid that? That sounds great.
So
you have two bird nerds on stream with you as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually interesting that you asked that. It seems obvious that the fastest option should be able to fly in this game. Like, you would think that would be the best option, but it actually turns out that because this game is so heavily entrenched in the combat, that it turns out that it's actually faster to be better at fighting. And the mammal, which is the route we are going to go, we're going to evolve into a mammal later, has a back kick attack that has the highest priority in the game. Meaning, if I attack and an enemy attacks me at the same time, I always win the trade. And that back kick attack, we can game the system a little bit to make it extremely strong. This is the T-Rex who asks me if I want to join his team, and I say, no. And he says, well, then you die.
Dang.
Remember, just say no.
We're extremely underpowered right now as well, by the way. If he gets even one hit on me, I'm instantly dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to kill 10 of them to end this level. And this level in particular is mostly the theme is running out the clock for the meteor shower to come down, and if I die, I have to start the count over again.
And also to this, I believe this is one of the levels that's fundamentally different in the J version versus the US version, if I'm remembering properly.
This is one of the few places that it's actually faster for the US version, because in the US version you only have to kill 8 of them, I believe. So I think I have enough EVO points to go ahead and get the last upgrade I need here. I need the... Let's see, the body upgrade. I'm sorry, I can't read Japanese, so I have to like look at my notes to figure out what these menus are telling me.
I remember you get a neck from it.
I was so impressed that you've been able to go through these menus so fast.
So I need to go on 2 legs, and I need to get one more of these guys. So now that I'm on 2 legs, my neck is a little more.
I never liked this head box off.
And I also need, what is the upgrade here? Back of the head upgrade, which is this one, which gives me a little more speed. And I'm going to go ahead and save this evolution in another slot. So you get, like, I think like 15 slots that you can save your evolutions.
Yep.
Got that Parasaurolophus little head shape going there now.
Okay, so what did this head shape, like from an evolutionary perspective, what was this supposed to...
That is an excellent question. I'll let you know when scientists figure it out.
Okay.
Couldn't you despawn these?
By
yeah,
actually, I think
the screen?
Yeah, I think once you have all the evolutions you need, you don't actually have to kill them anymore. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought.
Or is that English only? Maybe not. Anyway,
I thought that was. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time for both of us here. That's your phone a friend. I'm letting you know you most likely can make the them despawn.
All right, well, let's try it. We'll see what happens. Okay. So this game doesn't make a bit, like when it comes to killing things in this game, there's no real distinction as far as the game's concerned between scrolling an enemy off screen and it despawning and actually killing it. So let's experiment. And okay, he got me anyway.
Oh, you spoiled.
I'm sorry. I was told that the audio was synced on stream. Richard's going to tell me it is synced, but I'm just spoiling it for you all. At which point I have to tell you, I don't know. Take it up with management.
Yeah, hi. Management? Yeah, Emily, I think if I recall the part of that head shape there, one of the theories, and I know that this is not anything that anyone's actually shown, but one of the theories with the head there is that it was potentially a resonance chamber or something for some vocalizations there. Am I recalling that correctly?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a theory that has been thrown out. There's been a lot of those kinds of theories thrown out about many different parts of fossils that we have found for both the Parasaurolophus as well as some dinosaurs that people may be like more familiar with, like velociraptors.
Okay, chat. Can I get some Bible thumps?
This is so sad. It gets sad. Also, I remember the despawn strat.
I know. I'm so proud of you. I completely forgot about that.
They make you feel all bad about them being bad guys, and then they also make you feel bad about... Like, I didn't feel bad when I was watching you kill them, but watching them die like this, now I feel really bad.
Well, I mean, especially the one that caught like its own meteor on its back. You know, like this feels extra.
Yeah.
That's just like
the sad part. This is so sad.
Oh no, not the babies.
Oh, the baby.
Oh, come on, everybody. This was 65 million years ago. It's not too soon now.
It's so sad.
We gotta move
always
on.
Be too soon.
Humans are causing the sixth mass extinction, not math extinction.
So I don't know whether or not there is literally any accuracy to this, but the game actually implies that a few dinosaurs survived underground. Obviously, they probably wouldn't have survived for very long, but
yeah, this is accurate. It was ground-dwelling mammalian ancestors that survived this, which is part of the reason why we have the light receptors in our eyes very well attuned to night vision, whereas a lot of other dinosaurs were thought to not have that same thing. So that's definitely the accurate part of the ancestors to mammals living in burrows and surviving the destruction of the topside. and that we still have some of those remnants in our biology, and especially in our eyesight to this day, about how our night vision works, very similar to those underground mammals.
Yeah. So like mammals evolved 210 million years ago. So they were around when the dinosaurs were around. Mammals were around, but for the most part were pretty unsuccessful until the extinction of dinosaurs 65 million years ago. So the dinosaurs had to die in order for us to survive.
I just wanted to get into the story really quickly here. Now, again, Oth, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the same Triceratops you helped out in the last era, and they judge you based on, you saved them from the prime frog. So they deem you worthy enough to transform into a mammal. You also have no traction in this world on the ice if you're a dinosaur.
Yeah, basically they give you the option. They say, would you like to become a mammal? And you say, no, sure, why not? I got nothing better going on.
I've been eating dry cereal this whole time. It sure would be nice to have some milk finally. So, isn't it mammalian?
Yeah.
Now, if you'd chosen the bird path back there, would they be like, oh, you're a bird already and those are around, so you can just stay that way?
So I've never done the bird path. I'm not actually sure what changes in that dialogue in particular. I forgot that this was the one you just leave immediately. I'm not sure what changes in that dialogue. But the game does offer you the opportunity to stay as a dino and doesn't really communicate to you whether or not that's a good idea or a bad idea. And I'll just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. It's a bad idea. The world is ill-suited to dinosaur kind at this point in the game.
Yeah. Well, and this is also pretty accurate too to the idea that there was a massive ice age climate disruption that happened from the meteor impact there. That there would have been enough particulates in the atmosphere to reflect sunlight for a long time, changing the climate and making it impossible for those big dinosaurs to be able to survive as well. And that's where you start having better luck being an endotherm, where you have the warm-bloodedness, which was thought for some of the dinosaurs to also have, but obviously mammals, that's a key characteristic, that we have that warm-bloodedness there. Am I getting that right, Emily?
Yeah, and I do want to just kind of clarify what the question that you had asked earlier. Did dinosaurs survive after the meteor hit the Earth and killed most of them? But absolutely, some dinosaurs did still survive. So that happened about 66 million years ago. The extinction of most dinosaurs on Earth, and especially the large dinosaurs on Earth. But I mean, to this day, we still have dinosaurs on Earth. They just look a lot different in the form of birds. So birds evolved from the dinosaurs that survived that mass extinction that happened 65 million years ago. So the first kind of recognized bird fossils, what we classify as birds today, they appeared on Earth about 60 million years ago. I say ish because again, they are so closely related to the dinosaurs that it's a very kind of wishy-washy line right there, where you say this is a dinosaur, this is a bird, and you look at them and they look exactly the same. So the world of science, we like to put everything into little boxes, but not everything is always neat and tidy like that. So absolutely, dinosaurs still survived after that mass extinction 65 million years ago. But if you're looking out your window right now and there's a pigeon that's staring back at you, or a gull staring back at you, like what's happening to me right now, I've got a gull sitting outside my window. It's just a dinosaur checking up on us. So
just one of your gull friends saying hi.
It's one of my gull friends. Yeah.
The tagline for modern birds should definitely be "winging it since 66 million years ago."
Yeah.
I would be so happy if that our earliest known bird, it's one of my favorites, Archaeopteryx. Would be so happy if it popped up in this game. Oh, actually, here are some somewhat modern birds.
Penguins.
Oh, penguins.
Aww.
Got some tuxedo birds going. This is a penguinning speedrun at this point there.
Oh. That was a seal and not a sea lion. Just want to make sure that we all caught that. That was back there.
Okay, so this is
save.
I saved. This is a mini boss gauntlet that's kind of annoying. It's like these mammoth brothers that I don't remember what their whole deal is. They're mad though. That's the operative part here.
An ornery woolly mammoth.
Seems like it's gonna be a mammoth
But
of a task.
It'll be a mammoth of a tusk for sure, but I definitely think that where there's a woolly, there's a way. So I think got that. Oh, Master done deal right there.
Nice. One more like that.
It seems like being that close to them, you might rough up your skin. You'd have to visit a pachydermist after that. Oh my goodness, this one's pink.
Now,
I didn't want to talk about the pink.
That's the sister, and you can fight her, but she doesn't force you to, so I'm gonna opt to let her go.
Wait, so we're not gonna address the pink woolly mammoth in the room and just move right along?
All right, so if things didn't get wild enough, they're about to go a little bit into the deep end here, close to Otter's space.
I was gonna say, I think there are actual Martians in this game.
Oh yeah. The Martians. You overhear a conversation between them in the second world, and they're basically they're screwing with the evolution on Earth in order to like terraform the planet. I think that's the overarching premise. They wanna make the creatures there agreeable to the way they plan to terraform the world.
Sorry, are you in Oz right now?
This is a fortress with these bird-like creatures, bird dinosaurs with some sort of I'm not going to begin to try to figure out what's.
I've got a pro strat you may not have tried. If you have a bucket of water, pour it on them and see if they dissolve.
Past Oth is about to enter the bull box fight.
Well, I hope Past Oth screws it up because I need a leg up here.
Oh, you've got a main.
Yeah.
I know this isn't Smash right now, but this is definitely your main character at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I have very few gamer references. That was one of them.
I appreciate it. This game is interesting. So there's only like a limited set of things that it can really like stats you have that it can modify. And the thing is that while like a main might be, I don't know what the actual evolutionary function of a main is, but the function in game is it makes your bite stronger, which I'm pretty sure is not right.
No, it's not. The main's main evolutionary function is just so that it looks pretty.
Okay.
Yep.
Secondary sexual characteristic.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Trying to impress the ladies.
Yep.
Now,
That's
Oz, what did you just do there with your evolution?
Well, I'm a mammal now, so I need to start working toward my mammalian skill set, which in this game is really the back kick. So I've given myself cat jaws in order to give myself a little bit of bite power, but I'm starting to work toward a horse build because the horse build is the one that has all of the back kick strength. So my body is currently a horse body. That's what the game refers to it as, but my head is a cat head. And once this level is over, I'll have enough points to give myself a horse head as well, which I'm pretty sure a head does not impact the ability for you to back kick, but in this game it does.
Well, saddle up, everybody. I hope you can get the horse build there pretty soon. Galloping towards it at the moment.
As a bird nerd, I'm quite sad that they decided that horse body would be superior to flying eagle with knife.
Flying eagle with big buff arms in addition to its wings and knife.
So Joel, if we can have you on the stream, we'll just have a whole segment discussing whether or not flying eagle with knife should have been improved compared to this horse kick, which seems very OP at this point.
I would agree. Also, this wizard eagle is amazing.
Once Oth isn't in the heat of battle, this is another one of those parts of the game that's a juncture. This bird asks you to join them. And again, you end up making, I forget what the concept, obviously you game over, but I forget why it's bad to join this bird, but it's a bad. It's very much.
Yeah, it doesn't progress the story. So.
Oh, that also makes me sad.
Look at that. Look at the barbecue steak.
Yeah, no kidding. I wonder what happens if you have a bird build, if it's any different, if he's like, join your brothers.
And then you go word and just like, yeah, because we're birds. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things about this game is that when you change your evolution, it changes your max health. So if you choose a body type that is stronger, then your max health changes, and the side effect of that is that it always refills your health at that point. So we will often try to keep a little stock of E.V.O points sitting around, so that if things get hairy, we can evolve slightly.
Yes,
sorry, you just put a main on off, so I couldn't help it.
I know. I realized I hadn't saved, but I decided to save because I don't want to do the bird fortress again.
Yeah, nice job navigating through that maze. When you play that your first time, that maze is impossible to get through. So now there's a little bit of a story going on here. Because the odd bird alien story wasn't enough, now there's this Yeti that's like, why are you here? I don't want you here. You're here for trespassing, so now you're going to fight this Yeti.
I just want to say, Sasquatch out, man. Yeti looks intense.
The story for this section is something about like his son, and when you kill the dad, the son runs off, and then the mom comes over to fight me now. And she's way angrier.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
She's very, very, very angry.
So you would say that this is Return of the Yeti. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
She looks very angry.
This is why that back kick is so important, though. You get both Yetis into the stun here.
No, I cannot believe you. She got out.
What?
Oh no.
It's okay. I don't need any of the points I had, so it didn't cost me anything to die there. Just mostly my pride.
Also, let's hear it for Passed Off.
Yeah.
Passed Off. Yay!
Good job, Passed Off.
This is the end of what? World 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing slightly better than I would have thought.
World 5, though, isn't tiny, though.
Well, okay, fine. Oh no, she's already mad. Okay.
Uh-oh. Improvise off.
I just had to let her...
There you go.
Clap my... I had to let her get a hit in order to get her into the corner.
Oh, that was so tense.
Yes,
I had a different turn of phrase I was thinking, but I abandoned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was saying that the puns that we had with this particular setting were abominable, but
oh, I like that one.
Appreciate that in the chat. Forget who that was.
So the baby's very sad and runs off. Oh, I hope you don't soft lock here. Okay.
I didn't.
I soft locked here once.
I was also worried about that. There's a glitch that can happen sometimes where the baby Yeti will run off the right hand side of the screen and run right back on the left hand side of the screen and just repeat.
And you get
forever.
I lost a good run to that.
So we are heading into the last world. This is the rise of man. We will encounter mostly apes, but we will actually see what the game claims is the first man, and we'll kick his ass.
There's no donkeys in this game.
For future crimes.
Yeah.
Don't let off, laddie. There's no donkeys involved in this game.
Yes. But there were a couple of penguins that could have been jackass penguins, which are also the African penguins that we have at the aquarium. They're called jackass penguins because they sound like a donkey braying when they really want to get going.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so tune into our webcams when we do the penguin feedings at 10:30 in the morning. Sometimes you can hear the braying of the jackass penguins over the speaker.
Yeah.
Now,
it's usually the 3 o'clock feedings that we have.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Our aviculturists in there with the mics on, and you can hear them. And it's definitely like a donkey braying mixed with Chewbacca. So it's a little bit of a.
That's so good, Emily.
7 years of practice.
Yeah, we're about to encounter the otters. We're going through the river section.
I thought we were otter time, but is this for real?
It's for real.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's gonna be so possum.
Don't step on the otter's head.
I was gonna say, are we gonna have to watch these otters get pogo sticked all the way through?
They were smart and stayed below the water surface. If even one of them had showed his dumb head, I would have jumped on it.
No.
Remember, everybody, the Marine Mammal Protection Act protects actual sea otters from pogoing upon their heads in the wild.
But it only protects them from humans. I think strange horse-cat hybrids might be able to get away with it.
Oh, that might be a loophole. You're right. Dang it.
Now, were you just able to run through that water?
I was swimming through it. The mysterious time stream evolves you every time you touch water. For some reason, this game does not feel confident that creatures without fins could actually survive in water. And so every time I touch water, it gives me fins temporarily.
Oh.
They haven't heard of hippos, which are famously unable to swim, even though they are an aquatic mammal. Hippos float and they hop around, but they do not swim.
Wow.
So
their body type just doesn't have the buoyancy for it at all?
They just sink down to the bottom, hold their breath, and then when they're ready to come up, they just bloop, jump up to the surface, breathe in, or most of the time they're walking around, striding, galloping off of the bottom, but no, they cannot swim.
Are the stories of how vicious hippos can be overstated, or are they actually?
No,
that's true.
They're actually quite violent.
Oh, they're gnarly. Yeah, most things don't mess with a hippo in the wild, including lions and hyenas. So unless you're feeling frisky, I would not stay away from the hippo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it'd be a hippopotamus mistake to try to bring hands to him.
If you have the ability to fly here, if you happen to still be the bird, you can get to the top of this giant island or giant tower. Sorry, and this is where the game goes off the rails a little bit and gets some weird evolutions you can get. The one in this world is a dragon. It's temporary. It's not like an actual path you can go down. It's just like, hey, look at this neat thing that Gaia can turn you into for a second. The monkeys don't like me very much.
No.
I don't know if I'd blame anything for not liking you.
I've been kind of a jerk, to be fair.
Yeah, they heard what you did to the Yeti.
Yeah, you as a horse monster.
Yeah, word travels fast. Yeah, we're seeing the origin of the Lascaux cave paintings. Just like it's all an attempt to try to draw the horse monster that was murdering everything through time.
Let's put a main back on.
So you remember that baby Yeti that got away?
Well, he's alive and he's pissed.
Yeah. And apparently took up boxing at some point.
Yeah.
That sounds like he's not your biggest or fan.
But
that was multi-layered. I love that.
Just putting it out there.
That was brutal.
I mean, just like in terms of the world that we live in, seems like this Yeti's pretty heated as opposed to the modern day coolers by the same name. Oh, there you go. There's the back kick in the corner.
Yeah, some of these, it's very hard to get them set up in a position where you can do that. That's an example of one that I've always struggled with. You have to like let him punch at you and just like avoid it, and then I don't know. ... You win.
So y'all will like this. We're going back in the ocean.
That's right. It's time to seize the day in the speedrun. Oh, there's our coelacanth friends.
They still don't care either, it turns out.
Yeah, they're still ambivalent to my struggles.
I like that the aquatic reptiles are still around here.
Yeah, our little Nessie friends. Yay.
Yeah, I'm not sure for the time period how many of these are accurate, but the implication is that there's like this undisturbed portion of the ocean where all of the aquatic life is like I don't know, come together and they've got their own civilization going at this point.
Now we
Pay
have
no
a
attention.
symbiotic relationship between aliens and sharks, so there's that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are those alien sharks shooting laser guns at you?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not going to ask you whether or not that's evolutionarily accurate.
Well, in my professional opinion,
I mean, if you want to weigh in on the validity of laser guns underneath
laser
water,
sharks.
yeah,
I mean,
laser
to be
sharks.
fair, Sharknado must have definitely played this. The developers of Sharknado definitely played this game, and were like, lasers and sharks. I'm intrigued.
Whoa! And now you're battling the creature from the bog, right? What's that? The swamp monster?
Yeah, he's like the king of this. I mean, this is supposed to be like Atlantis, I guess. And he's not my biggest fan because I'm here to. I don't remember. I'm here to like save a whale or something. And,
Okay.
And he is the antagonist in that situation.
Ostensibly, it looked like you were there to beat him into a pulp, so and eat his steaks. So, well done there.
I can't say I like that his back legs were the lobes, like the little lobe limbs.
Yeah.
Oh, is this one here to say well done?
Yeah. That was a real whale of a time.
Oh, bailing into those.
I can't believe. At this point, I'm starting to enjoy it, and that troubles me.
Yes.
One of us.
Yes.
Beaten into submotion. We're at 99. I think we're at 100 now. Boo. Okay, now we can stop. All right, we just need to hit triple
We just need
digis
to
for
hit
the
triple
day.
digits, yeah.
Feel pretty good about that. Oh, now you look really happy jumping.
Yeah, I'm having a.
Oh, go for it, Sam.
No, I was just gonna say he's really having a good time here.
What were you gonna say, Joel?
Excited. We had some terror birds.
Nobody,
I'm thinking that's what they are.
nobody went for the whale of a time after we just saw the whale. Really?
I said whale of a
No.
time. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't hear my puns.
I didn't hear your puns. No, I've been listening to Pat's
Oh.
puns.
Oh, you should stop doing that for your health. Please talk to your doctor if you're listening to Pat's puns during the day. Side effects may include.
Oh, this boss is really funny looking. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say anything more. Just watch and.
This is bananas.
Yes. It's
If
very
he hits
bananas.
if he hits me with that baseball bat, it makes the sound of a baseball bat cracking, and it's very embarrassing when he knocks me out of the level. So I bailed.
Okay.
He got loose, and I wasn't willing to take that disrespect.
Someone says he looks like Spike.
Yeah, I can see that.
The hair.
Nice.
You did it, off.
I gotta say, steak and bananas is an interesting combo this late in the game.
The two major food groups.
It's true.
It really doesn't sound appealing.
No, very not. But I'm glad that you split from that area with all the bananas.
So
Well, yeah, you're so at this point we're more talking about alien biology than evolutionary biology. So if you have any
True.
theories, I'm happy to hear them. But we're about to fight giant space monsters, and is this the right elevator? We'll find out. This is
Austin
a-
used up all of your lifelines already.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
This is a giant maze, and I will be punished if I can't.
We didn't mean to
Punished.
laugh, but you did say punished.
Yeah,
so-
you did. Yeah. Sorry, we're gonna have to dig deeper for some of these puns with you going down those elevators. I was saying you were gonna help us. Okay, there, you're helping us elevate our conversation, but I don't know, Emily. We could talk about the theory of panspermia when it comes to how life made its way to Earth back in the day. If we're gonna introduce some aliens there, just the idea that life may have started somewhere else before it got to our planet back in the day.
All right, this is the final boss. Now, again, we gave off the generous
I still need
estimate here.
transformations, but
Oh.
this fight could take several tries.
It
This one's gonna get messy. This is sort of a boss gauntlet almost. The final boss here is basically he spits out variations of other creatures we've experienced throughout the game, and they're mostly way meaner. And there's at least 2 of them that are just impossible.
So we gave off a 140 here because A, he didn't ask for this run, B, he had to do multiple runs he didn't ask for, and C, there are some parts of this game kit that can go incredibly bad at any point, and this is a big one.
Okay, so first thing out is the flyer, I believe. I recognize that one, at least.
Yeah, it looks like a little meteor.
No!
Oh.
Come on, my man. Just get back kicked.
Oh, see, I usually use the jaws during this. Whoa!
Yeah, I think I was supposed to use the jaws for that round anyway. I don't remember what attack I'm supposed to do for any of this. I'm winging it here on the land.
Oh no!
Oh, that one's one of the ones that used to give me a lot of trouble, so happy it went okay.
You know, we can even use this to talk about some ocean stuff because not a lot of people know it, but jellyfish sort of do have eyes. I mean, not like actual eyes, but like light receptors.
They do, yeah, and depending on the type of jelly, box jellies are actually able to navigate a maze where they're able to tell the difference between colors and even recognize shapes without a central processing system like a brain or anything. So box jellies, the famous sea wasps that can really mess you up, those are known to live in mangroves and chase after fishes in the water, and they have eyes enough to be able to see. But the more common jellies we have around here, they're able to tell light and dark, so they can swim up towards the surface at night to go grab food that was grown during the day and swim back down if they need to go hide a little bit deeper water from predators like turtles, etc.
Is it understood how they can reason without a central nervous system or a brain?
Not fully, certainly. No, they have a nerve net, so they're basically a whole bunch of reflexes. But, people are starting to think that maybe jellies have a little bit more control over where they wind up in the ocean than simply being passive plankton there. But certainly for a box jelly, no, we have no idea how they're able to see an image when they don't have a brain to create that image. So there's still a lot to learn about what's going on in the ocean. And yeah, box jellies are also the famous irukandji, if you've ever heard of that as being one of the more deadly jellies out there that are sometimes found off of Australia there. And those can see you.
How do you study a creature that is so unlike any other anatomy, at least to my knowledge?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. That, when it comes to studying things like comb jellies, those are the ones that look like they've got rainbows dancing down the side of their bodies. Those, from the research that's been done on them, they seem to have completely different genetic coding on them or in them to help them tell which way is up, which way is down for their body plan and how to replicate their DNA. Those are things that really don't change too much because obviously if you're tinkering around with how your DNA works and it doesn't work out, you're not going to survive too long. But it seems like back in the day, those comb jellies did a completely different set of moves to replicate themselves and tell their development where their head is, where their tail is, whereas all other organisms from sponges onward do the exact same thing that we do. So that's how we know that we're related to sponges. And comb jellies appear to be aliens because they went a completely separate direction in their evolution there. So lots of work being done with more and more science out there.
All right, time is coming up.
Yeah, we're pretty close. This could have gone a lot worse, but I guess I remembered more of this than I thought.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a rough little fight, but everything went better than I could have expected. Just better than I deserve for not playing this for 3 years.
Get your GGs.
Very well done. GGs, everybody.
GG. Oth has defeated the timer. We are still undefeated in speedrunners to timers. Oth will not be the first one to fall to the timer, but that doesn't mean someone else could be due at some point soon. So one day the timer will get its victory, but today is not that day. Oth has overcome the timer in both Makaijima and E.V.O Search for Eden, both very difficult games that he did not select. Congratulations, Oth.
That said, we did give some pretty generous estimates.
They were.
But I'm happy it worked out. So Gaia says, finally, that she's proud of me. This whole game, I just wanted someone to tell me they were proud of me. And Gaia says, you did okay, kid. Those nasty Martians are going to go away now. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, if you want to learn this game, you should learn this game because this game honestly owns. It's really, 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 really good and really fun to run. It's just a really fast-paced boss rush. Every other stage doesn't slow you down in any way, so you're just running through them, getting from boss to boss, and it's really satisfying to learn. If you want to learn these games, RP Godfather or Green Mixtape, whatever username he's using lately, he has made some fantastic tutorials for every category on both English and Japanese. Basically, any way you want to play the game, you can learn it from him. He's done a lot of work to establish this game, both by creating the strategies and by producing the materials necessary to learn it. So
I also want to add, a lot of people are like, why did Oth get such generous estimates? Again, we pick the games this time. When we pick the games for whatever specials we do, we make sure to give extra generous estimates. And let's face it, Oth also got pummeled with puns through the whole time. So I think that also warrants a few extra minutes as well. I assure y'all, when Oth is on next, it's going to be much tighter to account for this.
Yeah, these games are known for being really brutal. I got kind of lucky in both of them that nothing terrible happened. And so I requested a pretty generous estimate, not really knowing how to estimate how long it would take me. So an hour 40 seemed reasonable, thinking that it was going to go miserably, and it turned out that it went okay. So
I also want to take the time to thank the Monterey Bay Aquarium for being here. A lot of fun puns, a lot of good facts here. Thank you all so much for being here, and feel free to plug yourselves again so people know where to find y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much, Oth. That was really, really cool stuff. Thank you so much for playing us through that game. The Monterey Bay Aquarium streams over on Twitch as well. We're twitch.tv/MontereyAQ. And actually, Emily is working on switching us over to one of our animal cams that we have had. It's almost up over there on our channel. And that open sea cam is one of the many animal cams that we have, from sea otters, penguins, aviary, the wild Monterey Bay, where sometimes we see wild sea otters and whales out there off the back deck. And so besides the gaming with Animal Crossing, we'll be starting up Abzu here pretty soon. We were so inspired by that. Oh, Emily's got the cam up. Awesome. So we've been streaming for a while now, and it's just been so great to meet all of the GDQ community. The aquarium is currently closed. Our mission is to inspire conservation of the ocean, but without ticket sales right now because of the coronavirus and us being shut down at the moment. All of you folks subscribing to our Twitch channel, those donations are going directly to helping take care of our organisms. Subscribing to our YouTube channel is also huge so that we can do some fundraising out there and continue our mission of ocean conservation. We have educational resources for loads of folks out there on our website, montereybayaquarium.org. You can also donate to the aquarium's mission over there as well, as whale, I should say. And if you want to take some more time with the ocean with some ocean therapy webcams and educational streams, they're not always as punny as these ones. These are just a little bit more fun with the pun counter going, but we'd absolutely love to have you over there on the channel to talk more about the ocean. Also, if you're looking for swag, we have an online store. You can buy yourself a plush Mola Mola if you wanted to, a sea otter themed face mask for the otter fans out there. So you can also get some merch if you wanted to there too. Yeah, those are the puns, or the plugs from the puns there. Yeah.
Really, I learned so much about sea life and evolution, and I feel like I took a whole class just during this hour-long run.
Oh, awesome. Well, like a sardine, a group of sardines, you were the one schooling us there on the speed run there. So we really appreciate you taking the time to have us chatting with all y'all. And it was a really great time.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And also, in addition to the Monterey Bay folks, and again, please follow them. Please, they're so awesome, and we've appreciated them on Ocean Week. And we'll do another announcement. We have Ocean Week continuing tomorrow, which will be sweet. Please give Author Blues a follow. Again, Auth was such a good sport to pick up not one but two very difficult games that were very rusty. I had already told Auth later this year when we start doing episodes of Mercy Kill with two different runners that Auth will probably be back doing a game of his choosing with a much tighter estimate this time. So y'all haven't seen the last of Author Blues. Author Blues will be back with a much tighter estimate in a much tighter race against the timer.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I enjoyed getting to play these games again. Whether I chose them or not, it was still a lot of fun to get to play them for y'all.
All right, folks, thank you to Auth and thank you to the Monterey Bay Aquarium crew. Remember, folks, Mercy Kill is brought to you by viewers like you. If you'd like to support the stream as well as the other programs on GDQ Hotfix, please consider subbing to the channel. If you have Amazon Prime, remember you have a Twitch Prime sub. Please consider using that if you have not already to sub to the channel. Remember, this Thursday, which is tomorrow, we have the first step at 7 p.m. where we will see if Hobbs can finish Link's Awakening this week with the 2019 remake. Let's see if any of his LADX gameplay transfers over. SGDQ 2020 online prize submissions are now open. If you're interested in submitting a prize, go to gamesdonequick.com for more information. And I would always like to preview the next episode of Mercy Kill, and we do have it for you as of today, folks. Lack Attack 24 will be joining us in 2 weeks for a riveting run of SMW 96 Exit, Super Mario Brothers 3, Any% Warpless, both very classic categories in those games. And who knows, maybe we'll see some Adventure Island 2, maybe we'll see some Rockman 2. We'll see where the night takes us. But yes, we will have the one and only Lack Attack 24 on in 2 weeks. Very excited to have him aboard. And that will be it for this week. I am Skybills for Games Done Quick Mercy Kill. We will see you in 2 weeks for another battle.